Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to my first official week as an exchange student in Scotland. I'm so excited. For those who might be new to my channel, my name is Andrea and I'm a textile design student at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. And this semester I'm studying abroad at Heriot-Watt University here in Scotland. Today is my first actual day of school and I'm heading to my very first class. You may have seen my vlog that I posted immediately before this, which was all about the welcome week and moving in and seeing my dorm, which is right there. That's my dorm building. But now the school stuff officially starts. So let's go get some coffee. Let's go find my first class. And yeah, let's have a great week. Hello! So I just got back from my first class and overall it went really well. I think this is going to be a really interesting class that kind of ties together both textile design and science, which as you guys know is definitely in line with my interests. So I'm looking forward to that. Another update. So I have been just kind of learning more about the campus and the housing situation here, and I realized that I was placed on a floor with first year students, which I'm 27, so I'm about 10 years older than everyone on my floor, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with people that are 10 years younger than me, but I realized that there are entire floors in other buildings that are people that are closer to my age. So I asked around, kind of learned more about things, and figured out that I actually have the option to switch rooms, and I'm gonna do that. So last week you saw me get settled into this place and move in and unpack all my stuff, and now I'm gonna start just packing it all up again. So let's do that. Okay, I'm in my new place. It is kind of just a chaotic mess right now because everything's just in boxes and bags and whatever I had to carry things to and from. So I'm gonna unpack. I also ordered a bunch of stuff in the mail to just help with organization and making this place feel more like a home. So when I'm all settled and everything is all in its place, I'll definitely show you around. Good morning, happy Tuesday. So last night I was unpacking my dorm and I just fully gave up. I was so tired after doing that move and just after the stress of the last 2 weeks of moving in general and the new school and et cetera, I just hit the bed, went straight to sleep. So this morning I woke up extra early to get everything done and my door's looking pretty cute. I'm pretty excited about it. I was just out here because there's a little trash area, but I figured it'd be a fun moment to show you where my building is and how it relates to the campus. So yesterday when I was walking to my first class in the morning, I pointed out this building, which was my old dorm, and I just moved down the hill to this building. And what's really great is it's actually a little bit closer to campus. Not that it really matters because both the buildings are super close together, but if I turn you around, you can see the whole campus. A lot of it's hidden by these trees, but those white buildings over there kind of in this row, that's where most of my classes are taking place. So in both buildings I was super close, but now I'm just a little bit closer and that makes me pretty happy. So yeah, let's head inside and I'll show you my new place. Okay, so let me show you around. So when you first walk in, on the left, you see my kind of closet storage area, and they gave us so many shelves, which I'm so thankful for. So I pretty much just put everything in piles. I have sweaters, tops, pants, miscellaneous stuff, my laundry bag, some empty shelves, accessories and bags, and then everything I got at the yarn festival, which I still have to find an official place for. If you go back on the right, you have my bathroom, which is all cute and colorful because I put in some fun colored accessories. Here's my shower. Heading back out, I have some more shelves right next to the bathroom. Right now, they're pretty much mostly empty, except for one little shelf of my earrings, some perfume, some other stuff. So then in the main room, I have this absolutely massive desk, which I love so much. A corkboard, which I've already started kind of like putting up little things that I've been finding on my journeys. And then right above that, some more storage. I just bought these little cubes and had them sent in the mail, and I really like them a lot because they help everything feel a little bit less cluttered, so stoked about that purchase. I then have my little kind of pantry area. This is mostly just used for like snacks, baking coffee, having fruit in my dorm. And then I have a rainbow on my floor. I just realized that. That's so cute. Anyway, I have a mirror and then my window, which I am so excited about because I have a very beautiful, very green view. And this field is pretty much always filled with rabbits, so that makes me so happy. When you turn around, I have a little chair. I have my bed. And then I have a few little decorative things here. So these two were actually gifts from my parents, one from my mom, one from my dad, and we got these when we were exploring Scotland together. I have a little Harriet Watts dress toy that they gave us during our welcome week, which I find very funny. And then I have some things from home. I have this picture of my boyfriend Ryan. And then I have my family's patron saint, Saint Michael. So yeah, that's my dorm. Things are definitely gonna get more crazy and more chaotic as I continue living here and keep adding to this place, but this is what it looks like on day one of moving in here. And I thought it would be fun to document that. So thank you for coming along with me. So we actually have our first official like textile design class today, and I'm really excited about that. And we were asked to bring in a little bit of work just to kind of like prepare us for the semester. So I wanted to show you what I've been working on and what I'm gonna bring to class today. We were pretty much asked to just explore the concept of color and to find like meaningful pictures and like fabric scraps and paint swatches and just anything we could collect that is representative of colors that we enjoy. It's a really like open-ended prompt and we could kind of interpret it however we wanted to. But what made this assignment actually really hard for me is that I only came to Scotland with like my 2 suitcases, and those were pretty much just filled with clothes and like things I needed to like live here in Scotland. So I didn't actually come with any art supplies or any materials to do an assignment like this, or really any of my assignments for that matter. So pretty much last week, I just spent a lot of time running back and forth into town and going on little adventures and just collecting whatever I could find. It was inspirational to me color-wise. I also found some magazines that I thought were interesting in one of the shops. And then Tammy and I also went on a little adventure. She's my friend who also is here from New York with me. And we found a secondhand art supply store where we were just digging through fabric scraps and digging through like all kinds of fun, like old postcards and stickers and all kinds of things. So over the course of last week, I collected all of these inspirational supplies, and then I've just been kind of like organizing them into little piles based on kind of the colors that I thought worked well together and colors that spoke to me, and then I put them all into a sketchbook. So let me show you that. So here's my absolutely giant sketchbook, and on the first page, I thought I was gonna put something here. I didn't end up doing that. I'll fill the space later, but here's my first little official color collage, and I pretty much just wanted to make a little section dedicated to what I consider my favorite color at the moment, which is kind of silly, but I've been really enjoying this like electric purple color that's just like has this glowing and bright energy to it. And if you've been following my work for a little while, you'll definitely know I just adore this color. Oh, also super random, but this specific fabric swatch I found at the scrap store, and it made me laugh because my mom actually bought me this exact scarf as a souvenir when we were traveling around Scotland. So I literally have the identical swatch of fabric as a scarf, and it's the Isle of Skye tartan. So when we were in the Isle of Skye, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful tartan I've ever seen. And then when I was making this book, I was like, damn, I wish I could include that fabric in my book. And somehow, by some miracle, I found it. I don't know how that's possible, but it makes me happy. I have this color palette here, which is kind of like a typical autumn palette with the addition of this like super bright and punchy cobalt blue. And again, it's just another palette that I've been really attracted to lately. So here's my second palette, which is kind of like a combination of very earthy neutral tones and these like pop colors that to me would be kind of unexpected pairings. So there's this like bright pink and turquoise and lavender. And I just find this color palette really soothing for some reason. Like it's soothing, but still fun. And the other thing I also like about it, which is kind of exemplified in this little swatch right here. So when you zoom out, that swatch looks pretty much like gold, brown, very neutral. But when you actually look at it, it's made of purple and yellow yarns pretty much exclusively. And I am fascinated by this concept of just like color mixing. And I think this could be an interesting palette for exploring that concept. Here's another palette. This one to me is a little bit strange, and that's why I actually chose to include it. So when I was at that secondhand scrap store, I found this piece of fabric and I just found this color combination like absolutely bizarre. I don't feel like any of these colors actually go together, but somehow it works and I find it intriguing. So then I started going on my Pinterest and I found some other images that kind of have like this similar color story and then put them all together. And I think one of the things that confuses me about this palette is that it's very like colors that you would associate strongly with other things. So like to me, this green and this red is very Christmassy. And this pink and this red is very Valentine's. And this green and this pink is super watermelon. But somehow it works in a very strange way. So this is kind of my wild card page. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it, but it was still like a fun idea to explore. My last palette is a little more straightforward. It's kind of just like a combination of very soothing pastel sunsetty colors with the addition of very harsh black and white contrast. And I don't know why this is something that I'm just always attracted to. Like I love how picturesque and like soothing and sunsetty this is, but this vase just makes it so interesting. So this page is just supposed to represent that concept. Okay, that was a lot of talking from me. So I'm gonna finish up the work that I need to do and then I'm gonna take us to class. So I'll see you then. I just dove into my bed and I like looked in the mirror and I'm like, that's a funny angle. Let's just film here. So I just got out of my class and it was pretty much just like a combination of like all different kinds of digital weave design and jacquard and all the things that you guys probably know that I absolutely love. So I think it's gonna be a really good class and I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the week. Speaking of which, I just found out that I actually don't have any classes tomorrow. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I was thinking maybe I could like go on like a little adventure or something. So I'm gonna do some planning, I'm gonna do some research and see what I come up with, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I feel like I just put it out into the universe that I was looking for an activity to do tomorrow. And like literally while I was recording that last clip that you just saw me record, I got an email sent straight to my inbox that was like, hey, do you wanna tag along on this tour of a wool production and natural dye site? And I was like, what? Yes. So I have actually a really exciting plan for tomorrow now, and I'll see you then. Good morning, happy Wednesday. I am so excited. I'm heading right now to my campus. I'm gonna go hop on a bus and then I'm gonna go to this alpaca farm wool natural dye extravaganza and I'm so excited. So let's go. Today's event took place at Burkill House, which is an animal-assisted activity and crafting center here at the Scottish borders. We started our adventure by touring their natural dye garden, which was just so lush and it was filled with what felt like literally every dye plant imaginable. These skeins of yarn were a sample of some of the colors created from the plants in this garden. We were then taught how to dye with fresh indigo. First, we were each given a silk ribbon, then we picked some leaves from their indigo plant, and then we mashed the leaves with some salt into our ribbons until they were a nice deep green color. And then as the indigo pigments were exposed to oxygen, they slowly turned blue, which was just so magical. After our dye demo, we headed over to the other side of the farm to visit some of their animals, including their alpacas. particular alpaca is named Percy, and we were told that he's really friendly and he likes to sniff people's hair.
You gonna sniff?
Hello.
Yeah, he's gonna smell you. There you go.
Hi.
Yep. Oh, he wants to smell you more.
I'm okay with that. We then learned all about how the Burkill House shears their animals and stores and processes their fibers. And then, of course, we visited their little shop, which had a whole variety of wool and fiber-based products to buy. And I really love that you knew exactly which animal you were buying fiber from. If you know me, you know I could not resist getting some yarn. I got 2 skeins of beautiful natural brown alpaca fiber from my new friend Percy. And I also got 2 mini bats from an alpaca named Dolly, which were dyed with the indigo from the Natural Dye Garden. I thought that these were both really fun souvenirs from this experience, and I'm really excited to turn them into something special to remind me of this beautiful trip. Good morning, happy Thursday. I'm just heading to class. I have some English breakfast tea, and hopefully today is gonna be a really good day. I don't really know what to expect, but I'm gonna try to film as much as I can. After our class, I headed out with my friends Jordan and Bree, and we went on a beautiful walk into town, and on the way stopped to pick some blackberries. I got my packages, I have my bags and bags of groceries and school stuff, and I'm now heading back to my dorm. Today ended up being like wall-to-wall, just like introductory class kind of day, so there really wasn't anything to film because it was a lot of just like going over the syllabi, getting to know our professors, and it was pretty boring in terms of like not the best YouTube content, but in terms of my excitement for this program, I'm definitely really excited. I think there's gonna be a lot of really fun adventuring and projects to come. Anyway, I'm just gonna go to my dorm, unpack everything, and probably just call it a night. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, happy Saturday. I am hanging out in my dorm just for a little bit this morning. Yesterday on Friday, I pretty much just like worked the whole day. I was mostly editing videos and trying my best to like just take it easy and give myself a break. So nothing was really like that exciting to record, which is kind of why we just skipped over to today. And today should actually be like a lot of fun. I have an adventure planned with my friend Tammy. I'm going to tell you all about it. But before we get into that, I actually wanted to show you my knitting progress. If you saw one of my most recent videos, I went to the Scottish Yarn Festival and went a little bit crazy getting yarn and getting projects, and over the course of the past couple days, I've just been like giving myself the time in the evening to just like sit and knit and relax and have that as like my me time. So I've actually made quite a bit of progress on 2 different projects, and I just wanted to show you how those are turning out. I've been keeping my knitting just like right above my bed for easy access, and I have one project in my yarn and whiskey bag, which is Tammy's brand, and then I have my other project in this soft accents bag, which is the bag that I bought at the festival. So let me show you my 2 projects. So this is the start of my Caledonian Fling shawl, and I'm using this amazing Donegal tweed that I'm just absolutely obsessed with. And I started on the body of the shawl, and I'm just like stoked about how this fabric is turning out. It's just so pretty. At the moment, it's going really fast just because I started with 7 stitches and just am like increasing a couple with every row. So it's going fast now, but I know that it's gonna slow down a lot, and I'm gonna get much more frustrated with it when I have like hundreds of stitches on my needles, but I'm enjoying it now, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Here is my second knitting project. I'm using that beautiful self-striping Halloween yarn that was dyed by FibrePunk, and I found this knitting pattern called Hope and Confidence by Martina Behm, and it's pretty much just like a triangular shawl that starts out solid and then will develop all these like holes and textures in it. And I think it's gonna be really, really fun for like an extreme Halloween accessory. I'm loving how it's turning out so far because it's like starting as very chunky stripes, and then as I increase on the needles, the stripes are getting less and less defined and they're gonna look crazier and crazier. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to see how this one turns out. So yeah, that's my little knitting update. I think it's been really good for me to like kind of force myself to like sit down and knit and relax, and I'm not always the best at doing that. I'm someone who kind of always thinks I like have to be on the go, but living here in this area that's like so remote and so isolated, there isn't actually like a lot to do on like a day-to-day basis. So having a project and just like curling up in bed and watching YouTube videos has been like just really good for me. That being said, I am going on an adventure today and I'm really, really excited about it. I don't really understand how to pronounce the name of this town. I'm just gonna put it on the screen, but my friend Tammy and I, we're hopping on a bus and we're heading over there. This town is really special because it has like, I think like 10 or 11 different mills and manufacturers of all kinds of different like yarn-based products. There are knitters, weavers, garment manufacturers, spinners, dyers, like anything you could think of. Like even Chanel's knitwear brand is based in this town. So we're gonna go walk around. We're gonna see if any of it's actually like publicly accessible. I know that some places allow tours. We didn't schedule any tours. I'm just gonna kind of like make note of what's interesting and then come back to schedule tours. It should be really fun, so let's do that. Okay, how do we say it? Hoik.
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 The steam! It's pretty good coffee too. I'm back in my dorm, I'm back in pajamas, and let me show you everything that I got today. So this is my little haul. The first thing I got was this absolutely ridiculous mug from a thrift store. It was only £1 in total. It's just hilarious looking. And on the bottom, I can't fully read what it says, but it says made in Wales, and then it says pretty ugly something. And I think he's pretty ugly, but also pretty adorable. I also got this beautiful lamb's wool sweater, which was made in Hoik, and to me that makes it really special. I just think this color is absolutely stunning, and it is so, so soft, and I got it for £40 on sale, which is pretty nice too. And this is the last thing I got. This is probably one of my favorite sweater finds ever. And I got it from William Lockie, which used to be the mill that Chanel used to produce their knitwears until they bought their own mill. But now they just produce these like extremely luxurious sweaters. This sweater has this ridiculous little frog prince motif that I'm just obsessed with. I think this whole thing is so silly. It was originally 350 pounds and I got it for 99 pounds, so I consider that a steal. And it just brings me so much joy. I actually really, really love all three things that I got. I know that I'm definitely gonna get a lot of use and a lot of joy out of them. So I consider this a successful trip. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up my week. Thank you so much for joining me on this first week of Harriet Watt Textile School Adventures. If you liked what you saw so far and you want to stick around and see more of what I'm up to this semester, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!